Hi, it's Tony the Tech here once again for another Prices Alarms instructional video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to add or change or delete user codes on the DSC Neo system. So we're here in our tech room. We've got all kinds of panels from all different manufacturers, but today we're going to focus on this DSC Neo right behind me. So I'm going to bring you in a little closer so you can see what's going on, and we'll show you how to change codes. Okay, so here you can see a close-up of the keypad. This is the DSC Neo system. You'll want to check your user manual to verify exactly how many user codes that you can have on the system. Your system might accommodate more or less depending on the model. But basically the way it works is you have one master code for the system, which is in position 1 on the user code position list, and then users 2 through up to however many codes you can accommodate. So to start out the user code programming, you press *5, and it's going to ask for your master access code. Now we've left this one default, it's 1234, so I'm going to go ahead and enter that now. Okay, so now we know we're in the user code programming menu. We have Frank as the current master code holder, and a P to show us that there is a code programmed there. If you wanted to review which code slots were available, you can use these arrow keys, as indicated up on the top right corner, to scroll through. I'm going to go to the right, and we see that the next code is Billy, and he's got a code in there. And then user 3 is blank. Okay, and you can scroll all the way up and just review which codes have codes programmed in. If you know the 2-digit slot number for the code, you can enter that right away. You can enter 02 or 06, and you could go directly to the code. But I'm going to go back to Frank here as the master code holder, and I'm just going to press the star key as it shows on the screen, and it should bring us into another menu to say press star for access code. So if I press the star key again, it'll show us the current code programmed in that slot. And you can overwrite it by entering a new code over the old code. So let's go ahead and enter 2018, and it'll bring us back to the previous menu. Now if you wanted to change the label, so press the right arrow and it will bring up user labels. We press the star key to access a label, and then you can change the name. Now changing the name can be a bit tedious. It's like the letters on a phone number pad, so ABC1, DEF2, and that's so on and so forth. So it might take some time for you to go through it, but I know that an E will be here. It's pressing 2 twice. And then you can just press the arrow key to scroll to the next digit. And we're going to press D, which is 2 again. There's Ed. We're going to change the name to Ed. And I'm going to press 0 under each of the digits that we don't care about. And then when you're done, you press the star key. Okay? And that should be it. Now, you want to scroll over to save to make sure we save that edit. And that'll jump us back to the previous menu. The one other thing I'll mention to you is the partition assignment. So if you've got a system that has multiple partitions, so for commercial typically if you had a warehouse and administration office, that sort of thing, and you had a code that you only wanted to work in one of the partitions, you can go into the partition assignment and select and deselect the partitions that that code is good for. Okay, so that would be done under the partition assignment. When you're done programming, you can hit the pound key, or it will time out as you just saw. You have about 30 seconds, so that's so that if you're in user code programming and walk away from the keypad, nobody can come in behind you and start making changes. That will time out after about 30 seconds. So I'm just going to step you back into programming one more time. So *5, followed by the current master code for the system, which we changed now. If you remember, we entered 2018. We can see now that Ed is programmed as the master code. We can slide over to Billy here, who's in the next available slot. If you wanted to know what his code was, you just press the star key, bring up access code, press the star key again. His code is 1111. If you want to change that, you just enter a new code, it will overwrite it. If you want to delete the code, you can press the star key. once. And if you press the star key once, you'll find that his code has now been removed. So if I go back in to review the code there, you've got 4 A's, which is an invalid code. So if you have to terminate an employee or somebody who no longer requires a code, just go in and remove it. It's as easy as that. And when you're all finished, you can either wait for it to time out, but we encourage you to maybe press the pound key a couple of times. That will step you back through the menu and back out to the regular ready mode. And also, any changes that you make, you want to document those, keep them in a safe, secure place. And also try the codes. So if you've added 3 or 4 codes, make sure that they do arm and disarm the system. If they don't, then you obviously want to go back in and review why that's happening. So it may be because you forgot to assign a partition to it if it's a multiple partition site. Okay, so one thing I haven't shown you yet is we're going to add an additional code. So on top of already all the programmed codes, we're going to add an additional one. So again, it's *5 followed by the current master code, which we have set as 2018. Use the arrow keys to scroll along until you find a position that doesn't have a code in it. Billy, we actually had removed Billy's code before, so his is now showing blank. But let's go to user 3. That's a fresh code slot. We're going to press the star key to select his code. We're going to go into access code. We're going to program a code for him, 1970. And then we also want to make sure that we go into the user labels, and we're going to put a name in for user 3. Let's call him Bob. So we're going to go again using the number 1 key twice. It brings up a B. Scroll to the next one. I know that O is going to be 5 3 times. Scroll over to the next digit. Whoop. Sorry, I made a mistake there. 1 twice. There we go. And then delete the unused digits. Okay, then press the star key and then scroll to save. Just like that. And then the next thing I wanted to show you is make sure the partition assignment is set up correctly for that code. So he's got privileges for partition 1. If it's a multi-partition site, you want to make sure that they have yes next to each partition. If there is a partition that Bob is not allowed into, then you can just toggle that to an N, which will disable that code on partition 1. So he might have access to only partition 3, so we'll give him a Y there and an N on partition 1 and 2. And then again, press the pound key a couple of times to exit the user code menu. But that's programming codes in a nutshell. We have user manuals on our website that you can download if you want more information on those. If you have any questions, you can give us a call. But thank you very much. It's Tony the Tech. We'll see you on the next video.